Hi, I'm Extraayogurt and welcome back to another speed build. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new, then thanks for checking out my video again. So today we're going to be building finally an animal shelter for South Valley City. So as you guys can see, the neighborhood is really starting to fill out, and I had made like a long-term like layout plan for this neighborhood, and I noticed that I kind of started veering away from it a little bit, so I just had to kind of go back and look at my little plan and like take note of all the things that the neighborhood was missing. Also, someone had mentioned building an animal shelter recently, and that's what also kind of like rehydrated this idea. So I hope you guys have been enjoying my Homes on the Grid series. I've been having so much fun making those videos, and I can't wait to do the next one. Actually, the reason that I'm building the animal shelter right now is for the next episode. So I'm sure you guys can guess what Simbin family is next, just based on this lot that we're building for that episode. So if you have a guess, like, go ahead and guess in the comments. But anyways, so yeah, so an animal shelter is something that we really needed. Next, I will be building an animal park, or I guess more of a dog park, but an animal park. And then we're missing a library. We're missing like some standalone restaurants. We're missing a bowling alley. We have just a few more very important community lots that I want to get built and kind of out of the way while we're doing our Homes on the Grid series. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, once again, I built a extraordinarily massive lot. Once again, I don't know how I keep doing this, but I have no idea. It's just like what my building has become, because like I'll have a vision in my head, and when I pick a lot size, I just kind of envision like, I guess, how much space I'll need based on like, well, I guess I keep making humongous lots because when I place lots, I kind of base the size on them off of the other lots in the neighborhood. So yeah, but once we finish with South Valley City, which will be a while from now, but once we finish with South Valley City finally, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start a whole new neighborhood. So let me know if you guys think that's a good idea too. But yeah, so a little bit about this animal shelter. It is called Paws in Need Animal Shelter, and it's solely focused around cats and dogs, but yeah, it's really just an animal shelter for cats and dogs. I didn't really include any other animals because I've only been to animal shelters that like cater to cats and dogs, so it also just made it a lot easier to like figure out how everything was gonna work and stuff. I did put a couple fish tanks, but not as to like sell them, but just as decoration. But yeah, if you're curious why it's missing like the other animal and elements, that is why. So I did not intend for this build to be this big, like I said, but it actually did end up working out. I just kind of was able to get the overall look that I was going for, and so it's pretty simple. On the left side of the build, I have the cat section, and on the right side, I have the dogs section, and they're separated into both adoption areas and like play areas. So if you guys have been to a shelter before, you know there's like a separate room just for people to play with like the kitties before they adopt them, and like I think a separate room for them to play with like the small dogs as well. So I made sure to include that, as well as in the back of the build there are little sectioned off, like gated off areas as outdoor play space for like larger dogs. And yeah, So if you had watched my last video, I had talked a little bit about finally like play testing all of my lots before I upload them, because that's not something I used to do. And I don't know, I guess I always just had too much faith in myself, and I thought my lots would always be like bulletproof, foolproof, whatever. And it turned out to be very wrong. So like, not that I had any crazy like big issues, but it was just like little things like placement of things, certain chairs, because like there will be times where I will intentionally place a chair like in a way that the sim won't be able to use it, just for aesthetic reasons. But there were like plenty of times where like I would place a chair with the intention of the sim being able to use it, and then like they weren't able to use it, or just like I like had placed some objects wrong, and so it made it so that like it couldn't be used and stuff like that. But I say all that to say that I play tested this lot, and the first time my sim visited it, my game crashed. So if I'm being honest, I'm almost certain it's not due to the size of the lot, because I've had my sims visit lots much bigger than this, and be just fine. I truly do think it's because I have so many of the cat and dog display cases, and that's just like my guess. And I really think that had a huge impact on like my game's ability to load up the lot. But I had also been running the game for like a good few hours, so I just went ahead, exited my game, went back into that family's lot, had them visit this lot again, and it loaded up just fine. So just a forewarning for y'all, this is another one of those lots that might be kind of tough on your game, on your computer. This is probably going to be like my New Year's resolution, is to start making more like lower end computer friendly lots, because these lots, they just get so crazy, and sometimes I can't help it because I just get carried away with how I want it to look, and I just keep building to like the extent that my computer will allow me to build. And I have a pretty good computer, but I have to keep in mind that like not every computer has enough power to like play these lots. So I apologize for that, y'all. I feel like a good fix would be to just delete some of the pet display cases, or maybe something like that. I'm not sure, but I know I kept saying like I'm gonna start building smaller lots, but let's be honest, as far as South Valley City goes, I'm not sure if that will actually happen. But in my next neighborhood I build, I will definitely make it a point to make the lots a lot smaller and a lot more playable. But I just feel like the theme for South Valley City has been these really big grand lots where I just really got to like express myself and try out a lot of different things, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, so the style that I went for this build, I went on Pinterest and I looked up, was it Pinterest? I think it was just Google Images, and I just looked up a bunch of different animal shelters, animal hospitals, and kind of like I found this one animal shelter that had a ton of mixed match colors. It had a blue roof. It was really, really cute. So I like that idea a lot. So you guys will see, I kind of like lingered around the idea of having the blue roof, and then I switched to the green roof, and then I ended up switching to the red roof. But yeah, I definitely did take the idea of a crazy roof and a bunch of different wallpapers off of just looking through images on Google Images. If you guys watched my Sims 2 beginners building tutorial, then you'll have heard me say like Some of the best places to get inspiration is like real life, Pinterest, Google Images. Like, don't be afraid to use these things. Don't feel like you're like not being original or whatever. But like, basically, the simplest way I can put it is like, if you look at a collection of images, then you're gaining inspiration from it. Like, there's a difference between like getting inspiration and trying to do an exact like copy of something. So depending on what you're trying to achieve, like, that's just kind of how I look at it. Because even when I find pictures of things that I really, really like and I'm like, oh, I wish I could build this, it never ends up looking anything like the picture. And yeah, so I've just kind of committed to instead just gaining like little inspo and little bits of different buildings that I see to help me build. Sorry, I rambled for a little bit there, but hopefully you guys get the idea. So this is the exterior look I settled on, and I think it looks so nice. I love it so much. It's very different, and it's giving me, I feel like it just is really screaming like doghouse or like birdhouse or like barn like kind of style. I feel like it, I don't know, it's just a bunch of different things all combined. Like also like shed a little bit. But I even did like a crazy amount of like different kinds of windows and window colors, and it all ended up kind of working together. The only complaint I had about this layout or about this like structure is that it was really hard to take exterior pictures of because it's just so wide and flat. So I really did my best with the screenshots, y'all, but you guys might be able to see that they're not the best. But yeah, so in the end, I also decided to add some signs in the parking lot. I've been noticing that's something that I tend to forget so much. I mean, not every single lot needs a big, huge sign, but I feel like there have been a good handful of lots that I've built that really could have used like a big sign outside, and I just forgot to do it. So I made sure to do it this time. But yeah, so here I am just working on the little sectioned off areas in the back for the dogs to play, or the cats. Who says cats can't play outside? But yeah, so when it comes to CC, I was very intentional about using very little CC. So the 3 different pieces of CC I used, one of them's a recolor. So I had used a lightwood recolor of the pet display cases. I had used this pet food bag deco object, and then I had also used these this shopping bag CC, and it is just the cutest thing. So hopefully that's not anything too crazy for anyone. As usual, I did my best to make sure all of these objects could be included with the lot, as long as credit is given. And so you guys will be able to download this lot with the custom content included. If you don't want the custom content, make sure you use Clean Installer to remove it. And it really shouldn't have a huge effect on the look of the lot. I tried to make sure of that. So yeah, and as always, make sure you check the description for any details on the CC that I used, all of the mods that I have, all the building mods I have, my other profiles and stuff like that. So yeah, when it came to the terrain, I was kind of being like overly picky about it because as you can see, like, it's really not that serious that underneath those shrubs has dirt, but I don't know, I just kept thinking to myself, like, that's what makes sense though. So I ended up eventually painting over all of this work that I've just done and starting over and doing it again. And overall just kind of wasting time, but yeah. So the reason this ended up being a 2-story build is because normally when you go to animal shelters, or at least the ones I've been to, the way that they have the pets on display is kind of like stacked on top of each other. And they'll be either in cages or like acrylic boxes with like breathing holes in them. And because I could not think of a way to achieve something similar to that, I just ended up making it a 2-story build and having 2 levels of pet displays. So, you know, it really wasn't necessary, but it ended up working out in the end, especially because that allowed me to find some space to put some little offices where I imagine that like your Sims would do the adoption paperwork and everything like that. But yeah, and it just got me thinking again, like I'm sure like every Sims player wishes that they, knew how to make CC and like make mods and stuff. Like I know I do. Like there's so many different things that I think about, like, oh, this would be so cool to have in the game, but I just do not have the expertise. Like I don't even think I have the capacity to learn how to do that. So shout out to y'all who make CC and make mods and stuff, even just recolors, because I've made some recolors a long time ago, when I was younger and I guess my brain was fresher. But like recently I've tried to make recolors again, and it's a challenge for me. Like I don't know if it's my computer, but something always goes wrong for me. So shout out to y'all who do that stuff. Like it is not easy, even just doing recolors, which like the concept of it seems simple. It's really not that simple, especially when you want it to look really nicely done. So yeah, I was just thinking, like, you know, in a parallel universe where I was a like game creator, or I knew how to make mods, I would make those little pet displays. So yeah, what kind of knowledge do you need to know how to do that? Like I'm sure, like obviously programming, but like what else? Like obviously programming is really hard, but I'm just curious in general of like, what exactly do you need to study or to teach yourself in order to know how to do things like game development? Because I think it's so fascinating. But anyway, so here I am just putting all the plain boring like a basic wallpaper and flooring. You know, this is an animal shelter, so they have to be cleanly, and so I just put linoleum throughout, except for in the playrooms. In the playrooms I chose to do carpet, and I did use some carpet tiles in the adoption rooms as well, and in the waiting room to kind of look like rugs, like massive rugs, but pretty much everything is linoleum throughout. I put this pretty big like, what do you want to call it? It's a cashier desk, obviously, but it's also like excuse me, it's like a little pet store kind of up front. So I didn't imagine this to be a full-on pet store, but I mean, clearly we had the space for it, so I thought it'd be a good idea to include a bunch of items that your Sims could potentially purchase, you know, if you marked them for sale or whatever. But there are definitely at least like collar displays. If you don't want this to be a like a business, your Sims can still come here and purchase collars and obviously purchase pets. So yeah, it has a lot of functionality. It was definitely that really important thing that the neighborhood was missing, especially because like when I had moved the Ramaswamy family in, and just moving families in general, I just kept thinking like, I want them to have a pet, but we don't have a pet store. So here we are with our animal shelter, which is even better than a pet store. So yeah, for some reason, so like I know that the Pets expansion pack came with this like space theme set stuff, and as I was building, like I was having so much trouble understanding the concept behind that and why they thought like space stuff and pet stuff would go together. But I am not a big fan of like the space theme stuff. I think it's cute for like kids rooms and stuff, but the yeah, like the doors and windows and the pillars, they're very questionable to me, so maybe I'll find a way to use them. But yeah, here I am just doing the bathrooms. You guys will notice I didn't take any pictures of the bathrooms just because they're super boring and plain, and very unimportant. So yeah, so here you're gonna see me using my first piece of custom content, which is the light wood recolor of the pet display cases right there. And I'm pretty sure this is by Michelle on Mod the Sims. She makes some amazing recolors. She has a recolor for literally everything. So if you want your whole game to match and you want to make building and decorating easier for yourself, check out her page because she has the recolors for every single object you could ever imagine. So the only reason I don't download more of them is because I've said before, like, I like that challenge of trying to use what the game has, but sometimes I have my mind set on how something's gonna look, and a recolor is necessary. So yeah, here I am putting 1,000,001 pet display cases. This was so unnecessary, y'all. This is probably most likely why my game crashed when I first had a sim visit. But yeah, I don't know. It fills the space nicely, and in gameplay, like, it looks so cool just to have all the different cats and dogs like lined up, like they're in their like cute little smiling faces, like ready to be adopted. It is so cute. So yeah, here I am upstairs putting in the little adoption offices. So you guys might notice a theme here on the dogs side. I decorated the offices to be really fun and cute and seem kind of like kid friendly. And then on the cat side, I decorated the offices to be like really contemporary and like sophisticated. Not trying to say anything about cat or dog owners, but I mean, as you guys can see, I might have a bias. I definitely am a cat lady, so but yeah, I just put some cute little offices. At first I was gonna make them all the same and just plain, but I thought it would be cool to add some personality here. So kind of my tactic for furnishing and decorating this entire build was to put all the necessities in first: shelving, countertops, cash registers, pet display cases, everything necessary to kind of make it function. Yeah, give it functionality. And then from there is where I started to decorate and just have fun with it. So yeah, I spent an unnecessary amount of time decorating these little offices. And the end product is cute, but it really does not reflect the amount of time I spent decorating these offices. But yeah, I think they came out really cute. I used some things I don't usually use. One thing I wish that they had more of was like pet art, just like pet stuff in general. Yeah, I could have downloaded some artwork, but like I said, I wanted to keep the CC as minimal as I could and still really make it count. So yeah. So here I am about to use those really cute shopping bag CC items that I mentioned earlier. Like I said, again, all CC used will be in the description. There's only 3 pieces, I promise. But yeah, so the shopping bags are one of them, and they were created by Shasta Kiss on Tumblr. And they come with a bunch of really cute different recolors to match whatever business you're using them for. I thought it was really cute, and because the pet variation of the bags was yellow, I just decided that like the theme colors for the animal shelter would be red and yellow, and I thought that was really cute. So I also am using these pet food bags created by B5 Studio, I believe. The actual object was created by them, I believe, for Sims 3, but the conversion was made by, I want to say, Limonaire. Hopefully I'm saying that right. But yeah, like I said, everything will be linked in the description as usual. I feel like I say that so many times, but I will continue to say it because I want to ensure that everyone's getting their credit, and also you guys know where to find these things. And I'll try to keep everything as up to date as I can. If you notice any errors or like incorrect credits or anything along those lines, please let me know and I will fix it. So yeah, I'm just filling up the shelves with a bunch of pet objects, and I think okay, so there's some points in this build where I just had a slight pause because I was like boiling pasta while I was building, and I wasn't patient and just wanted to keep building, and then like my pasta water started boiling over onto the stove. So that's why I have some random pauses here and there. But yeah, so for the cat side, I had just filled up the shelves with as much cat related stuff as I could, and then unfortunately there's not quite as many objects for dogs, I feel like. So I had just filled up the dog side with pet food bowls and a bunch of bones, a little bit of dog food, and yeah, so I think this is just a really cute pet themed space. And like I said, like the feel of it in gameplay mode is so nice. Like it just seems like a really nice, happy, like it's just really nice. It just seems like a nice place to be. So I really wanted to try to put these pet beds on the shelves, but I couldn't find a way, not even with move objects on or my shiftable everything mod. It just wasn't working. So but yeah, it turned out okay. All right, so this is super off topic, but I felt like this was a good time to share. I wanted to share with you guys all of the software and programs and things that I use to create my videos, both speed builds and like kind of cinematic videos. Just because like I want everyone to share as much Sims content as they possibly can, and I really want to keep the community active. And yeah, I feel like I haven't shared this before. So basically, just a disclaimer, there are plenty of free software programs you can use. However, I have not found any that I've liked. I also, maybe I didn't dig for long enough or dig far enough to find some really good free programs. So like the things that I use for the most part, I do pay for or I have paid for. But like I said, like you don't have to spend any money to create Sims content, or you shouldn't have to. You do just kind of end up having to sacrifice certain things when it comes to like free software. Anyway, so what I use for both game recording and screenshots, I use something called Bandicam. So Bandicam is not free. I believe there is a free version, but you're very limited. So you can only like record up to 10 minutes, I believe it is now. And you're stuck with like an ugly watermark on all of your footage. But they have a 1 year version, registered version, for I think it's 30 something dollars now. US dollars now, and they have a unlimited version, registered version for I think it's $45 now. I don't know, the prices are like always changing. I know it sounds really expensive. When I looked back and checked my emails for how much I had paid for it, I was kind of shocked too, but I chose to do the lifetime unlimited like registered version of Bandicam. And the receipt said that I paid $40 for it. And I know it's a lot, but I'm gonna be honest, it has paid off tenfold. I mean, like just with the amount of like happiness and joy I've had creating these videos and sharing them with you guys, like it has definitely like paid off. So yeah, that's what I use for video recording and screenshot taking. Now, there's so many different types of video editing software, like where do I even start? But so I have just a regular PC, so I don't have, iMovie or anything like that. Excuse me. Sorry, y'all. So I use a software called Lightworks, and this is something that I pay $10 a month for. I know it's another expense, but like I said, it just depends on your usage, how much you expect to use it, how badly you want to use it. I guess like $10 a month, I can definitely sacrifice that if it means getting to like share my love for The Sims with you guys. So there was a completely free software I was using before. It was called HitFilm Express, I believe. But something happened to it, like an update happened, or it just went rogue, y'all. Like it just stopped working for me completely. It was constantly crashing, even with the updates. And I have not checked back on it since. But if you guys are interested, check out HitFilm Express. Maybe it'll work for you. I believe that's completely free video editing software. But like I said, I use Lightworks. It's $10 a month. It's pretty nifty. It's pretty cool. Apparently, this was a software that they used to edit the movie Pulp Fiction. I've never seen Pulp Fiction, but I do know it's a popular movie, so that's pretty cool. It's lacking a little bit in some areas, like as far as like putting text on videos or like the transitions, and maybe I shouldn't dive this deep into it in a speed build, but yeah, okay, Lightworks. Now, when it comes to editing pictures, putting words on pictures, doing little intro videos, little small clips and stuff like that, just like general like making things pretty. I use Canva. Canva's free, but there is a pro version, and I do have the pro version. And it just gives you like more options to choose from, but it is completely free. So I hope that helps. I hope that at least kind of sort of helps you guys. If nothing else, then like if you want to share your builds, speed builds, movies, whatever things for your game, or even non-Sims games, secure yourself some good screenshot and film taking, or what am I trying to say? Secure yourself a good game screen recording program. Secure yourself a good video editor, and secure yourself a good photo editor, and you'll pretty much be set, and just mess around with it from there. If you guys have any questions, I know that was poorly explained, please let me know and I'd be happy to answer them. I could even make a separate video on stuff like this, but yeah, hopefully I didn't delve too deep into that. The amount of joy that I feel seeing Sims 2 content, any Sims content, but mostly Sims 2 content on my feed, it is crazy. It just makes me so happy. So the more people that can share their creations, the better. And yeah, like I said, you do not have to pay for anything. You just have to search. You really have to search, do your research, and dig. So yeah, here I am decorating this very tacky dog playroom. I do end up changing it a lot. As you can see, I end up making the theme colors green and yellow, which is also kind of tacky, but I don't know, something about it was fun and kind of cute to me. So I just decided to roll with it, especially because I wanted everything to match that big dog artwork that I saw. So yeah. One last thing I wanted to add in regards to sharing your creations. So obviously I covered the portion where you can film or take pictures of your game, but I did not cover the portion of where to actually share your content. So obviously, number one, for videos and stuff, there's YouTube, but also Tumblr is the place for Sims content, especially Sims 2 content. And then the file hosting websites that I use are SimFileShare and MediaFire. Someone called T Vicky Sims was so kind and shared with me a registration link to get an account on SimFileShare, and that seems to be a very reputable and reliable file sharing place. So there's SimFileShare, and then MediaFire, pretty common, it's been around for ages. You can make an account there and upload your files. There's also what was I saying? I'm sorry, y'all. Mod the Sims. So the thing with Mod the Sims is they're a little they're very strict on what they allow on their website. You really have to do things a certain way, and it may take a little bit of extra time to learn, but it really is a hub for Sims content. So if you really want to reach as big of an audience as you can, I personally feel Mod the Sims is a great way to go. So yeah, and then did I talk about yeah, I think I did talk about Tumblr. So yeah, if you're not looking to share any files or any downloads for anyone, and you just want to share pictures of your gameplay, you want to talk about what you're doing, like I said, Tumblr is a great place to do it. You can make an account and just share screenshots, add your little Sims 2 tag, and you're good to go. I want as many people as possible to share their Sims 2 content. One day we're gonna start a whole revolution, but we really have to band together, y'all. so yeah. Once again, let me know if you guys have any questions. I know that was poorly explained for the most part. I think I got my my idea across. But yeah, and like I said, I could also do like a separate little video on it if you guys are interested in that. But anyway, as y'all can see, we're almost done here. We're getting to the very final bits. It looks like I really just need to decorate the upstairs walls a little bit more. And excuse me, I'm sorry y'all. This little trick I guess I like to do a lot is when I'm doing like a 2-story like open kind of concept kind of thing, and those upstairs walls are looking so blank and I just do not have the artwork to fill that space. I've really been loving just using wallpaper and mirrors, and it just creates this really nice effect of like as if there's some kind of artwork there or some kind of busyness there, when it's really just like wallpaper and mirrors. So I try not to overdo it. I really do. I really try to use it sparingly just to keep my builds interesting, but I have really started to like that that design tactic. All right, so these are not the best signs I've ever made, but I did find these style of signs the easiest to kind of squeeze onto the lot, especially when I did not initially plan to add a sign. But I think they're cute. I think they get the point across, and they don't take up too much space, which was kind of like my main problem. So I just went ahead and added these little parking lights or street lights. I thought the wooden ones looked a lot more fitting for the build than the steel ones. So yeah, obviously I'm just finishing off with all of the lighting, which is my favorite part, to make it all come to life. Like I said, all of the building mods that I use will be in the description, and I bring that up again because probably the greatest thing that ever happened to me is the Lunatech Lighten Up mod, which fixes these lights that I'm placing right here. It fixes them so that they're not floating in midair anymore. They're actually stuck up into the ceiling. And yeah, that really changed my life. So thank you so much to the person who recommended me that mod. I'm so sorry, I cannot remember the name of the person right now, but I have mentioned them before. So thank you again. You guys can find that linked in the description. It just makes everything look so nice and flush. So I'm just placing a million of those lights, and then if you guys have watched my builds before, then you know my little tricks and tips for adding lighting to spaces with no ceiling, which we'll get into in a second here. Yeah, so I'll usually just put floor tiles right above where I want there to be lights, but I make sure that they connect to something so that it's like looks like it's suspended off of that support and not just floating in midair. So just a nice little detail I like to add to my builds. And here we are in the cinematic shots already. I have just been talking y'all's ears off, so I am going to let y'all enjoy this and some of the screenshots, and I will be back. Bye bye. All right, y'all, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching yet another speed build from me. Let me know what you think. If you want to download it, that will be in the description. And if you haven't yet, I highly recommend y'all check out my Homes on the Grid series. It's a much different style of video than what I usually do. It's a lot of storytelling, and it's just a really fun series, and a series I'll be continuing here for the next few months, maybe a couple months till the end of the year, maybe, depends how long it takes me. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope this doesn't tear your game apart too bad. But yeah, I had so much fun building this. I think it's exactly what the neighborhood needed, and we will be doing a dog park next, along with more Homes on the Grid episodes and a lot more community lots until the neighborhood is just fully complete and completely polished. So if you guys want, you can find me on Mod The Sims at Extraayogurt. Extra has 2 A's in it. You can find me on Tumblr at Extraayogurt as well. Where else can y'all find me? I do have a Twitch. I don't really stream on it, but if you want, if I ever do stream, you guys can find me there as well at Extraayogurt. Yeah, and also I meant to mention that my 190 Flower Patch Lane, I believe, video is still like getting a lot of views. Like, that is my most viewed video ever, and I'm not sure why, but I'm glad you guys have been enjoying it. And if you're watching this video coming from that video, I hope you're enjoying the channel. All right, so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.